The Morgan Madonna is a rare piece of sculpture in the round. In other words, three-dimensional sculpture, where we see the Virgin sitting on the throne of wisdom. Now, this piece is carved out of wood, and that makes sense because wood would have been a commonly available material to work with, especially when we're dealing in Northern Europe. They don't have a lot of marble to deal with, and it takes less skill to deal with. And they don't have those kinds of skills developed at the time because, of course, if society is redeveloping, you don't have artists focused on being greater artists. You don't have a lot of competition. There aren't a lot of people commissioning art. And at the same time, those artists have bigger issues, for example, survival, to deal with. Now, this was felt to be particularly dangerously close to idolatry. To address this, they actually place a small bone chip or relic, a bone chip of a saint, within the sculpture. That's why it looks like the head is removable, because it is. The piece is very frontal, very static, very linear, and similar to Byzantine ideas of the Theotokos, in other words, the image of the mother and child. But you'll notice that the Virgin Mary doesn't look anything like a mother. She has almost no feminine traits. Instead, we see hands and feet and face, and the rest of it, the body is completely covered in 20 yards of wool. Jesus himself is not depicted as a child so much as a perfectly formed yet miniature adult. And this is because at the time, Mary is in this area sort of taking a back seat. She's a necessary vessel, but she's not a particularly important figure within Christianity in this area at this time. So what we are seeing, though, is a very intimate scale, a smaller scale image that people could relate to, that they could pray through, and ask that the Virgin Mary act as an intercessory, act on their behalf to pray for their immortal soul to God.